For the first time in cricket's broadcast history in India, the Board of Control for Cricket in India will charge more from digital platforms than TV to telecast matches. The BCCI released an e-auction tender last week in which they reduced the collective base price, that is TV+Digital, to as low as 45 crore rupees per match. For all formats of international cricket, India will play at home in the coming 5 years. The base price for digital rights is at rupees 50 crore per match, which is now to be more than TV rights, which stands at rupees 40 crore per match. But the big talking point is the fact that the basket rate of TV+Digital is lower than digital rights. What was the price that Disney Star paid in the last cycle? Yes, 61 crore per match, which has now been reduced. To discuss this and more, joining me right now is Karan Taurani, Senior Vice President, Research Analyst at Elara Capital. He's also an expert on OTT platform. Karan Taurani, let me start by asking you this very basic question. Are we seeing a shift in how India consumes its cricket today?
Hi, good afternoon. I think definitely, there is a shift in terms of consumption. What happened with Jio Cinema was quite disruptive in nature. They offered the most premium content, IPL free of cost. And, you have seen some sort of a shift in terms of, TV to digital. But nonetheless, I think both these platforms will coexist. We don't see that, digital will take the entire share of TV because there are also concerns in terms of digital consumption, because if you look at digital as a medium, I think the consumption patterns is more limited to convenience watching on the go kind of things. If you really want to watch seamless cricket content, TV is still, kind of having a significant share in terms of consumption.
But I also want to bring up the point that the number of viewers on Jio Cinema was 44.9 crore as compared to TV, which was over 50 crore, which you rightly pointed out. But now BCCI has gone ahead with the higher rights for digital, despite that fact that 2023 IPL season saw more TV viewers than digital. Why do you think have they done this?
See, I think, predominantly 5 years back, you did not see cricket rights being unbundled. They were just sold in a package kind of a thing. But what is happening right now is that, in terms of the pricing, digital rights are kind of, more expensive as compared to TV rights, potentially because of the growth of the medium. So let's take the case of IPL. Versus earlier cycle, if you take IPL, digital rights were sold at a premium of 6 times as compared to the earlier cycle. Whereas in the case of TV, the premium was only 2 times compared to the earlier cycle. So you have seen, sharper premiums in the digital rights, clearly because of 2 reasons. One is it's a high growth medium. The medium is growing by anywhere close to 25-30% in a country like India, which is underpenetrated for digital consumption. And secondly, there are multiple players here. So, you've got more players bidding for digital rights as compared to TV, which now stands to be consolidated, and you don't have too many bidders as well. So because you've got more bidders, eventually you'll attract, heftier premiums, and even the right will be sold at a very high price.
The last time the bidding happened, there were 3 different platforms that competed for it, and it ultimately went to Jio Cinema, who managed to screen the entire thing free of cost. Do you feel there is going to be a shift in that sense as well, wherein the other platforms would come in and say that look, we'll pay you extra bucks, but we'll do that free of cost as well?
See, that really depends in terms of internal strategy of a particular company. So if you look at the case of Jio Cinema, they really wanted to make very strong inroads in the OTT market. The OTT market is very fragmented. There are multiple players. The only way is, to offer content free of cost and really scale up a subscriber base. So that is something internal which they had done. I don't foresee that other players will follow this. So I think if you look at Disney Plus, I think they've announced recently that, World Cup will be available free after Jio Cinema, offering IPL free.
Yeah.
But if you look at Sony Live, they still got a pay-based, on cricket content. They haven't, given free cricket content as such. So it depends in terms of what the company actually wants. But broadly, I think, even this time around, I think the price is more reasonable in nature. In fact, if you look at the base price, rather it is 20% lower as compared to what the earlier cycle was. Whereas in the case of IPL, the base price itself was double of the earlier cycle.
Yeah.
And then there was a 50% premium further, beyond that. So my only point is that whatever price BCCI is offering in terms of the rights today, it seems to be reasonable. And also, it's also factoring in the negative impact that we've seen in the last 1.5 years. I mean,
Yeah.
when the rights went for,
Absolutely,
auction
yes.
for IPL, the market dynamics are very different as compared to right now. So it's factoring in the negative impact of the market as well.
I also want to talk about the ad revenues. When it comes to ad revenues, we see a massive difference here as well. Jio Cinema, they earn rupees 2,300, between 2,300 to 2,500 crore in advertising revenue, whereas Disney Star's ad revenue, it hovered around 1,800 to 2,000 crore rupees. Do you feel this is also a major reason why BCCI would tilt towards OTT platforms?
They've clearly, kind of kept that difference between TV and digital media rights because they also foresee that somewhere the demand for digital will be much more because of more platforms bidding for it and because it's being a high growth medium as such. As far as ad revenues is concerned, I would not want to comment individually on Jio Cinema, or on Star, but broadly, if you look at this year, because the market environment not being so conducive because of new age companies cutting ad spends on a sharp basis, IPL revenues were down close to 25% as compared to last year. And if you look at digital herein, which was growing at 25-30% kind of number, if you look at, and because you cannot compare digital on IPL because last year IPL was behind the paywall. You had a subscription revenue and you had an ad revenue. This year you had only ad revenue, so you cannot actually do a like comparison. But broadly, TV digital put together, what IPL earned in terms of revenues, it was down close to 25% as compared to last year.
Yeah. Karan Taurani, thank you very much for speaking to NDTV, giving a valuable inputs on what is unfolding right now. And we'll keep an eye on how it unfolds in the coming future. Thank you very much. We'll slip into a short break. News continues on the other side.